I'm life and business coach Samantha Sifring, and this is the Online Business Building Mamas podcast, where you learn how to build a wildly successful business from home while raising kids. Hey mamas, welcome to another episode of the podcast. This week, we are talking about why most people quit too soon and why you're doing better than you think you are in your business. A couple weeks ago, I was talking to another coach who also teaches attraction marketing, which is kind of the underlying philosophy of how I teach marketing to my clients and Mama to CEO. So she also approaches marketing from this philosophy in her niche. And I asked her, how long do you think it takes for attraction marketing to really pick up momentum and show results when people start doing it? And her answer was 4 months. And I asked my coach a similar question and she said 6. So 4 to 6 months. This past weekend, I saw a handful of clients really showing up amazing on social media, owning their message, owning their niche, just really doing it. And I felt so proud. I felt so full in my heart, wow, they're really owning it. I'm so excited for them. And they're going to get results. They're really doing this. They're going all in. And I decided after seeing that it was time to really dive into this topic today of result confusion. Result confusion is a major obstacle, I think, in a lot of people's businesses. It absolutely is the reason that most people get discouraged and quit in their business. And I want to talk about it. So, result confusion is the misconception people have that the results they're getting right now are the results of the actions that they're taking right now. So while this can be true, the results that you're getting now are also the result of actions already taken, 4 to 6 months ago and even longer. So what you're doing right now, your belief that things are working, that you can hit your goals, and the aligned actions that flow from that belief could be creating results that will show up months from now. The majority of people lose steam within a week or two of belief and aligned action because they look at the current results and they decide what they're doing isn't actually working. Then they move into disbelief, they drop the aligned actions, they change up their strategy entirely, and they start solving problems that actually are not problems to begin with. They change their business, they change their niche, the marketing platform, their offer, or worse, they just take a break altogether from their business. So I often teach my clients this concept by talking about planting tomatoes in your garden. So if you think about starting up a vegetable garden and planting seeds in your garden, most of us know it's going to take a while for those seeds to turn into tomato plants. But in our businesses, it's like we're going back later that afternoon and digging up the seeds to see if they've turned into tomatoes yet. It just doesn't make sense. In a garden, you know you're going to plant that and it's going to germinate and it's going to sprout up and it's going to have to grow a lot and grow a bunch of leaves and then some flowers. Those flowers are going to pop out little baby tomatoes and they're going to be green for a long time and slowly they're going to turn into juicy red tomatoes. It takes a long time. This is what it can look like in our businesses too. Here's the reality of building a business. If you were to decide right now to commit 100% to believing that you will sign clients, and you took aligned action with that belief, you may or may not sign clients this month. I have clients who go both ways. There's not really a right or wrong. Same with next month, right? But 4 to 6 months from now, you will for sure sign clients no matter who you are. You have to decide from belief that you will create the business results that you want, whether it's signing one client or hitting 5K months or more. You have to decide from that belief that you will, and then really take that aligned action. So I noticed this happening with many of my clients. They start working with me in Mama to CEO, and they do often start seeing results right away, which is so exciting. New clients, more discovery calls booked, but within several months, it really starts picking up steam and they start having their best months ever and that kind of thing, because the results of their consistency starts to compound. I can also tell you this, our brains hate this concept. My clients struggle with it sometimes because our brain resists against it so much. Building a business is really uncomfortable, and just that initial piece of it is uncomfortable enough, right? It requires us to show up and expose ourselves to rejection. Building a business requires us to act the exact opposite way of what we've been wired to do for millennia. It feels awful. And then we have to have the audacity to believe in something without evidence and to take action on it for months, possibly, without evidence that it's working. Our brains hate this. They want to protect us from harm. And so this can really trigger us. Your brain is probably going to fight against it and tell you it's delusional, it's BS, it doesn't work, it won't work, you aren't cut out for this. Surely you'd have evidence by now if it was actually going to work, so you should quit. And many more things. It can be so frustrating. And a lot of my clients, I would say the majority of my clients, hit this point where they feel frustrated. This isn't a sign that anything has gone wrong. It's just a sign that you have a human brain and you're trying to grow a business, which is the opposite of what a human brain wants to do. And it's going to sound like the sensible adult in the room, and it's going to shout as loud as it can to get you to stop. But here's what I want you to know. You shouldn't listen. Your brain actually doesn't know how businesses are built at all. This is how they're built. Being uncomfortable, believing without evidence, taking action without evidence, and continuing to do that over and over for months maybe without any evidence. Just like the tomatoes that someday are going to arrive after months of seed germination, sprouting, growing, flowering, more growing. Your clients will arrive. The nurturing you provided over and over pushes them over into being ripe and ready. That's really going to stick in your head. The principle is also why once you are successful, it's easier to stay successful. The amount I currently make isn't just coming from what I do right now. It's coming from all the work that I've done before. It took me 10 months to get my first client from when I first started my business. But then I didn't have to wait another 10 months to get my next client. The next client came 2 months later, and the next came a week later. And they just kept coming until it just became a regular thing for me to sign clients. I think a lot of times you think that the amount of work that you put into getting the first client is the same amount of work you have to replicate to get the second, and it just doesn't work that way. It's like the tomatoes. So to recap, most people quit too soon because they think that their current results are caused by their current actions, when their current results are actually caused by past actions so much more than current ones. Also, you are doing better than you think in your business because your current actions are causing future results right now. So hold your belief and keep taking aligned action without taking breaks, and you're going to see the fruits of your work. The most important things for reaching your goals in business are holding your belief that you can do this and taking aligned action from that place. And the way to know if your beliefs and aligned actions are the right ones to help you stay the course is to work with a coach who's done it before and can guide you. I specifically help my clients with this in Mama to CEO. I have you share your monthly goals and plans, and I help you identify any pitfalls or mistakes in that plan to be sure you're on the right track. I also help you recover when you've fallen off the plan because, let's be real, that happens and it's not a big deal. We just have to see what threw you off and help you rebuild your belief and get back into aligned action. Visit Mama to CEO to join now. All right, mamas, I'll see you next week. If you like this podcast, I want to invite you to coach with me over in my program, Mama to CEO. There's you, and there's the consistent income you want to make in your business, and I help you remove everything standing in between. It's lifetime access for mastering your marketing, sales, time, and everything else you need to have the business and life you really want. Whether it's making your first 1,000 or 100,000, I can help you do it. To join, go to mamatoceo.com, mamatoceo.com.